All right, what's up, Dodger fans? Welcome into the LA Sports Brotherhood. It's me, Ryan, here with my brother Matthew. We're here to recap a nice Dodger sweep, getting back on track against the Nationals on the road in this pretty long road trip. So, Matt, how you doing?
I'm feeling good, feeling good. Good to get back on track. I never had a doubt. It was just a tough home stretch, but we're the Dodgers. It's regular season. We're gonna win all the games. And yeah, we got back on track. So let's recap this three-game sweep of the Nats. So first game, Dodgers get a good performance from the pitching staff and give up just one run, and they get 4 runs on the board, including the hardest hit ball of the year so far from Shohei.
Hmm.
I happened to watch that live, and it was crazy to see that ball fly. And Paxton got a good outing. Dodgers go Paxton to Grove to Vesia to Hudson to Phillips, and they win 4-1. And the following game, game two, Dodgers put up 11 runs on the board as offense was on fire. They get a 6 inning outing from Landon Knack as he gets his first big league win, and the Dodgers go Knack to Brazier to Yarbrough for 2 innings, and they look to close out the sweep. And a very quiet day for both offenses as the Dodgers only put 2 runs on the board, but that's all right because we had our guy going. Yoshi goes 6 inning shutty, and we go Yoshi to Vesia to Hudson to Phillips and hold on to win 2-1 and sweep the Nets. So to me, the story of the series was obviously the pitching as we kind of shut down the Nationals. So in game one, it was James Paxton, and I want to give a little love to Paxton. I was preparing to do that before his last start, and he ended up walking about 8 people. But he's just been so solid all year long, and it's really exactly what we needed. We got our two guys, Gladstone, Yoshi, of course, two of the best guys in the game. But Bueller's been hurt, of course. Miller's been hurt, and Kershaw's been hurt. So we really need a lot out of Stone and Paxton. And Paxton's really he's just delivered. He has a 2.6 ERA on the year. Only, I mean, four innings and 4 and 2/3 innings, and he still ended up walking 3 batters. But at this point, I'll just live with the walks. Just keep it under 4, keep it under 5. And he's just getting outs. He's not giving up too many runs. He's throwing the fastball a hell of a lot. He's literally second in fastball usage in the entire league. So yeah, we know we're getting with a Paxton start, and that's all I wanted for in the season. And as you see, he gave us a chance to win. We won 4-1. Second game, Landon Knack, which I was very thrilled with this outing.
Yeah.
I think with, like we said, we have about 7 pitchers on the IL. There's going to be a lot of up and down between these minor league guys, and he made his case to stay, and he gave us a chance to win. He went 6 innings, only 2 runs, and it was great. I was very thrilled with Knack. And, hopefully he keeps doing that because more than just giving up 2 runs, it's the 6 innings for me is we got to give the bullpen a rest. They've been
Yeah.
pretty tired, pretty blown out. And anytime we get innings out of a guy who's not expected to do that, it's always great. And we won that game. Had a lot of help from the offense. And lastly, game three, of course, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, probably his best start of the year. That's his third time he's gone shutout, thrown a shutout, but this time he went 6 innings. He looked very good. I think we know his off speed's nasty, but on the year, the only problem he's had is his fastball. Hitters are hitting above 300 on the fastball, but today I believe it was just one hit on the fastball, and it was like a little bouncer from Meneses in the last inning. But yeah, he did get I think it was 3 strikeouts on a ball out of the zone that was called strike. But
Yeah.
hey, we'll take those. But yeah, I mean, I believe I said this in the last recap. We're getting to the point where Yamamoto, he's just gonna be one of those guys we're gonna get 6, 7 solid innings. Like he's already reaching that in his this is maybe his 6 or 7 strike start. There were a few more 3-2 counts that I saw that I'd like to see. I think Yamamoto's always got to be ahead, and he's because his stuff's too good. If it's 0-1 and it's 0-2, it's tough to hit. So the keys for him, the location of the fastball because you can't leave it over the plate, and then number two, getting behind. And I think he did pretty well against. I think he did pretty well in both those areas in today's game. Like I said, only one hit on the fastball, not too many walks. Just a great outing for him. So yeah, what'd you think about the pitching?
Yeah. Honestly, I appreciate the Paxton shout out. It's weird shouting him out. He didn't even finish 5 innings. but it's just he hasn't really, even with the 15 walk game he had or whatever, he doesn't have any blowouts. In fact, his ERA, again, this is a difference of like in basically half the innings, but his ERA is even lower than Glasnow's right now, and his FIP is near 6, and his WHIP is 1.5. So it's just funny. Everything about him is funny, but I mean, if he could just keep the walks down a little bit, he's giving us what we want. Knack, honestly, not surprised by it, but I'll say I'm uh, heartened by his performance because in spring wasn't super hyped on him, honestly. Just he didn't look like he was in good form coming into the season. But 6 full innings and giving your team a chance to win, and they gave him run support back. It's huge. Only 2 runs, 5 strikeouts. It's perfect. But yeah, you got into it. You mentioned it a little bit. I think my biggest emphasis on this series, pitching wise, is the bullpen for sure. They went quick math 3, 6, like 11 and a third innings, something like that. Over 10 innings this series. Only give up 1 run, and that was Hudson in this last game. We desperately, desperately, desperately needed that, and I can't get super excited over a series, but that's more than we've gotten from them the entire season. So 3 games in a row of legit good pitching. Alex Vesia, two appearances, both clean, both shutouts. He had 3. He struck out the side in, is that game 2? No, this last game. Or he had 3 strikeouts in it and not struck out the side because he gave up a hit. Um, I can never say that I fully trust him, but he's gonna get the spots, and if he's going, then it's it's impossible to overstate how important that is. But yeah, I'll throw it back to you. What you got?
Yeah, that's definitely to me the biggest thing about the series is bullpen. It's just it's so great to see that. I mean, they didn't give up a run until Huddy gave up a walk and a hit. Just that was the only run given up all series from the bullpen. So that's huge to see. And it's like you may think like, well, I mean, these aren't our guys for the playoffs, but these are gonna be our guys for a long time until we get healthy.
Yeah,
So it's important. You may not like Bessie, you may not like Kelly, which I don't as pitchers, obviously.
yeah,
But if we can get good performance out of them, that's will help us go a long way because they're going to pitch a lot of innings, and we need that confidence. We need them to get be good. Phillips was struggled heavily in game 1, and he just looked absolutely dominant today. So I was glad to see that.
yeah,
And yeah, I think overall this is exactly what we needed. I think the last game against the Mets, I kind of just felt them get out of that rut, and I thought, okay, this could be big, but yeah, and then to go back to Paxton, it's funny the way you're saying it. It's like I, if this was Glasnow or Yoshi, I'd probably be upset. I don't care about his FIP or his advanced numbers or any. I just want a certain amount of innings and a certain amount of runs or fewer.
yeah.
That's it. And he's pretty much done that all year long. So I'm very happy with that, and hopefully he keeps it up.
No, 100%.
And yeah, I think like there's you really just you feel good about the series. The offense quickly we gotta touch the game 3 offense. It wasn't great, but I think we were kind of joking about it. There's gonna be a lot of these games where in a day game 3, we're just not gonna score much. Smith's gonna sit a lot of those games, and we're gonna get poor lineups like we did today,
Yeah,
and it's just tough. So I think in those games we're gonna rely on the big 3 a lot: Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei, of course. And as of right now, or as of yesterday, it's probably still the same. The number 1 and 2 guys in OPS is Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani in the entire MLB. In my opinion, those are the 2 best players in the sport, and Freddie Freeman's got to be in the top 10. I mean, they're superstars, and I mean, usually we kind of just brush past it. They got to be, they're going to be good, but it's just like as fans, it's mind-boggling to see these 2 guys on the same team playing for the Dodgers for the next 10 years. It's just it brings a smile to every Dodger fan's face. So I'll kick this thought over as a question to you. Do you think do you think that we'll take the first four. Do you think there's going to be a stretch of games where more than two of them are struggling? And if that happens, do you see a losing streak in sight? Because these are really consistent players we're talking about these four. So yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Honestly, yes, and we kind of saw it this last homestand. Like Freddie has been he's been searching for it for a couple weeks now. I mean, in the way that only Freddie Freeman can, where he's still like making contact and stuff. But it's very clear, like his slugging percentage was under 400 before today. Like he's definitely looking for it. And Will Smith kind of came back to earth a little bit, like still fine, but he wasn't at near 400 batting average Will Smith, which is what we needed to win early in the season. And we went 2-7. Granted, the majority of that is pitching and bullpen stuff, but that like it's still like we weren't able to score when we needed to. So yeah, it's even with Pajes coming up, and we'll talk a little bit about the bottom of the order, even in like a dedicated video coming soon. But it's still 100% reliant on the big four plus two,
Mm.
and it's tough because for some reason it feels like they're giving Max Muncy a legit platoon because he doesn't. I mean, he played game one, right? Yeah, against I forget which lefty they threw out there, but he's getting days
I was
off.
Corbin.
Corbin, okay, so yeah, barely even a pitcher. He's getting days off against any lefty that's like moderately tough, and he doesn't need that. We don't need to find ways to get Chris Taylor into the lineup, you know. So I don't know. The way like Dave Roberts was talking about keeping guys relevant, which has helped a lot in the past when we've had guys that could like be league average and platoons and stuff. But we don't have that, and it's still kind of going on. So as that continues, 100% we're gonna need Mookie, Shohei, Freddie, Will Smith, and frankly Teoscar too, because Teoscar's played every single game. He doesn't sit either way, which I appreciate, and I feel like they know that this is a 1 year deal. Same thing with Paxton. They know it's 1 year deal, and thank you for your contribution. Go get paid. That's what they're doing. So they're like, Tasker, you're playing every single game. James Paxton, you have 90 pitches in the fourth inning. Try to get through the fifth. Like they're just running them out there, and frankly, that's what you're supposed to do. For it helps both parties. But yeah, so yeah, it's big four plus Teoscar, and hopefully Muncy gets less of a platoon split. But 100%, we need those guys desperately.
Yeah, it's a little scary when you look at like I said, they're 1 and 2 in OPS.
Mm-hmm.
Mookie Otani, I don't think are going to hit 374 and 358 all year.
Yeah,
They may hit 315, 320. There probably are going to be one dotting like they are now, but it's not going to be to that level. You know, Smith isn't going to. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm sure he's still hitting like well over 300. That's not going to happen all year. So, in my opinion, it is scary, but you are gonna lean on them because the chances of all four of them being cold at the same time is low. But when if two guys like Freddie, like you said, Freddie was just in a rut. If Mookie and Otani are getting on base, but then a couple guys behind them are struggling, and then once you get to the six hitter, everyone there sucks. And that is my main point is I don't I just need the 7 through 9 to be average. I need them to be average. I don't need them to be all-stars. I need average platoon guys. I don't need Taylor and Outman striking out 60% of their at bats. That to me is a problem.
yeah,
Like I mean 2021 it did look like a 1 through 9 of 800 OPSs. I don't need that. We have 1 through 3 of the 5 best players in the world. I just need average play from the bottom of the lineup.
yeah,
So Pajes, um, he had a 2-hit game in game 2. Today he could have had a 2-hit game, kind of got robbed. I've been liking what I've been seeing from Pajes. At first, I was kind of, man, doesn't look too good. But recently, I've been liking what I'm seeing, and I think he's only going to get better because he's been a little late on a couple fastballs, just a little bit by him.
yeah.
We actually went to a game, and we kind of predicted that they'd blow a fastball by him, and they did. But I don't think that's like an Outman type thing. I think he's just getting a little bit used to it. But yeah, what have you seen from Pius? Because I feel good about him.
Yeah, honestly, I do too. I was I wasn't worried necessarily when he came up the first couple games and it was tough. I think it was probably the first through 2 or 3 games, like he kind of looked rough. Just because it just felt like he was acclimating himself, and even then, like he's making more like with every game, the contact looks better, the approach looks more comfortable. One thing that they're getting him on, and I don't know if you'll be able to fix this because it's really hard to stop swinging at it, but high fastballs with any velocity, he's going after them every time, and he's whiffing more often than not. But I mean, yeah, he's super active. He already has 3 doubles. He's like, I don't. He's kind of the guy we were hoping for. OPS 903. This is from before today, at least. But he has 2 homers. He's looking athletic. The defense is kind of scary, honestly. There's a couple of fly balls where it's like, where are you going? Even the one he catches, like I don't know. But I'm not a big outfield defense guy. I don't know too much about it. But yeah, he looks athletic. He looks ready to play. They've given him everyday reps, and I think that's going to continue. This is honestly exactly what I was hoping for because I would be a little nervous if he came out just firing crazy because that wouldn't feel as sustainable. But you can see the progression. You can see how he's adjusting to the ball this in the box, and it's really got me hopeful because that changes a lot if we can have 7 guys that are like or we have our top 4 and then 2 guys that can do damage, and then you have Pajes who can be like a pretty steady guy. That changes the lineup completely, and that's all we've been looking for. Obviously, and we've been talking about it so much. But yeah, he has the potential to be like a real fix for what we're looking for.
Yeah, after today, 851 OPS.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's honestly probably the biggest story of the offense just because we know we're getting out of the top. And it's huge. Like you said, it's exactly what we've been searching for. We've struggled so much. And, another point is we actually won 2 games against lefties,
Yeah.
which for the past 6 years has been a problem. But yeah, I've noticed one of the biggest thing to me is there's been a lot of good at bats, a lot of 3-2 counts where he's fighting off sliders and stuff.
Hmm.
And as a fan watching, it's like it's really good to see. But like you said, like I said earlier, the fastball up, it's been blown by him a couple of times. But if he can hit the pitches in the zone, if he can have good vision, good at bats, just hit balls hard. He's had a lot of like fight off doubles, deep in the count, kind of slaps it down the line. That's what I want to see, like a good active hitter.
Yeah.
Because it is, I mean, because if he came up just smashing fastballs, they adjust slider, fastball up, and it's one of those things. I honestly prefer this, where he's more all around. He's obviously got great bat speed, and yeah, if he can keep this up and really, I mean, he struggled like in his first 3 games, so the numbers like look worse than really what we've seen. So if he can be like a real steady outfielder, I mean, it's an understatement how big that is because it's like the whole first half have been, oh my God, the bottom of the lineup, the outfield, and then you call up a prospect and he just plays pretty good for you. I mean, that's all you can ask for,
Yeah.
and it is just so much length. And now that when I look at the lineup and it's our 1 through 6, you call the big four plus two, and then you see Paz in the 7 hole, that could be huge.
Yeah.
But I don't have the splits on him. I don't know if they're gonna try to just every day or just versus lefties. But yeah,
You talking like
I
later in the
think he just
season?
later in the season
Okay.
because to me he looks like a big leaguer,
Yeah.
and with the play of Taylor and everything, I wouldn't be upset with him being an everyday player.
Yeah. Well, in a super super tiny sample size, he's a reverse splits guy right now. 968
Okay.
against righties, 714 against lefties, but that's not including today. So the LPS against lefties probably went up a little bit. But yeah, before we exit this little topic, not specifically about Pajes at all, actually, I want to give a hopeful shout out to Kike. Actually, 2 games
Hmm.
against lefties, he was 3 for 7 on the series, and today his outs were actually hit pretty hard. If he can, he's if I'm maybe I'm just doing way too much hopium, but if he can start to round into shape and at least just hit the ball hard against lefties, once again, just transforms the potential for this team because I mean, that's what he does. That's what he's always been able to do, and maybe just he needed more time to recover after his hernia surgery. But yeah, because like today he looked like old Kike to me against a lefty. He was hitting the ball hard and squaring up fastballs against lefties. And that's all you could ask for.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. I mean, if you can get, we're talking about a guy who's been great against lefties in the past. If you can get average production against lefties, that's huge
Yeah,
because to build off of Pius, if Pius can be, Teoscar's everyday guy. He's been great so far. If Pius can be another good fielder, and then just because we have so many guys in the outfield, if Kike starts hitting his lefties, Hayward comes back, he's productive. I mean, to be honest, I love Lux. I've given up on him. I hate to say it. And maybe Outman figures something out. Kike, as of right now, I honestly have the most hope for him because, like you said, he just looked like active. He looked like the old Kike of the past. He looked like a good hitter.
yeah,
So yeah, we have the bottom of the lineup. I feel a lot better about it now, which obviously is a good thing. I think because I mean we're talking about like a lot of talent here. Taylor's been an all-star. Outman was third rookie of the
yeah.
year.
I think that's the most
Hernandez
frustrating
has been
part
a
of it,
Dodger
isn't it?
legend. Yeah, really,
Yeah,
seriously. And Kike isn't as much of a strikeout guy as Taylor and Outman. So yeah, that could be huge. We know we need help against lefties. And yeah, overall, I think the pitching was the story of the series. Been outstanding. Let's hope the bullpen keeps up. Let's hope the starters keep up. And offense wasn't great outside of game 2, but they did their job. We have a great top six, and the bottom lineup continues to come along. Bias, I think, to me was a story of the series. Although I will say, it's funny you mentioned the defense. I am an outfield defense guy, and
hmm,
it hasn't looked great, to be honest. I think when we were in person, we saw like I think 3 balls where he came in on a line drive that hit the wall,
yeah,
and a pop up to in the dirt to Freddie Freeman, he went back on. So I don't know about that. I think his reactions, his first steps have been a little bit questionable, but hey, he's getting used to it.
yeah.
And the last question I'll ask, he's been playing some center. He played center today. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it just because it feels like they're slowly giving up on Outman. Not gosh, giving up is a little strong, but they're kind of just embracing that Outman is straight up a platoon player at this point, which I don't like. Like we've been saying, Outman has more potential to break out than Taylor, so I'd rather Outman just get as many swings as he can. Um, but if Pajes can play center field, if that's like an option for him, regardless of platoons or other players, if he's capable of playing center, then I'm happy about it, you know. But yeah, it's Pajes playing center means more Chris Taylor at bats, and I don't want that. Outman, he needs as much runway as possible to hopefully break through and become a 700 OPS guy. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think there's a lot you can go into the outfield, a lot to dissect. Maybe even a video coming up on, because there's so many guys out there,
Yeah,
6, 7 guys about our perfect outfields, and maybe we go into it in another video.
yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much it. You have any other thoughts?
No, honestly, we're like we said, more content coming out in the next couple days, so be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, great series for the Dodgers. Talk to you guys soon. Go Dodgers.